Mental health. This is a topic I'm sure you're all familiar with. You probably heard about it in the news or probably constantly see it in ads on social media, even though you're pretty sure you never looked it up in the search bar. So since this is such a familiar topic among society, why is it not taken more seriously? Since the coronavirus pandemic in 2020, America has seen a significant rise in poor mental health among its citizens. The constant stress from school and other personal factors have even caused some individuals to need a day off in order to evaluate their situation and come back to their usual schedule much stronger and better. However, taking a day off like this is typically not acceptable in schools across America, as many of them consider mental health days as not a real excuse. However, this specific educational policy is one that needs to change, as it can have an impact on the performance of today's students. So today, I will be discussing the need for excused mental health days, a detailed plan on how this policy can be implemented, as well as the practicality of this plan using statistics from real-world scenarios. Now, before we can create a solution for this policy, we must first discuss the problem of poor mental health and its correlation with school attendance among students. Throughout the past few years, there has been an unfortunate rise in students with poor mental health, especially those that are currently in high school. A recent data report from the CDC even revealed that more than a third of high school students reported experiencing poor mental health during the pandemic. The cause of this significant rise varies, but the most common causes include bullying, missing out on personal opportunities, and the one I'm sure most of you are familiar with, academic pressure. All of these factors can cause the average high school student to be affected, since they are no longer having any willingness to attend school or even the motivation to do one more assignment. So if we're going to combat this issue and help these students feel better mentally and physically, then mental health within the educational system needs to be taken more seriously. According to the U.S. Surgeon General in an article titled, "How School Affects Mental Health in High School Students," but the reality of the mental health burden facing high school students means there's always more that can be done, and there are several critical improvements schools can make right now. So yes, having counselors and wellness centers on school campuses is a start. But sometimes the best solution is to be able to take time away from the thing that causes stress in order for students to come back much stronger and better. So what is this great plan that's supposed to solve this massive problem? I'll give you 4 words: excuse mental health days. Similar to how employees in the workforce are allowed to have a certain number of vacation days, all students should be able to have a certain number of mental health days as well. According to Dr. Laura Erickson in an article titled, "Why America Has a Youth Mental Health Crisis and How Schools Can Help," young people spend more of their waking hours in school than anywhere else. So we have a responsibility as a society to make school a place where their mental health is supported. The most efficient way for schools to show support for mental health is to allow their students to have a certain number of days where they can take a break from school and the stress factors of school so they can be able to perform better overall. In my school district, high school students cannot have more than a certain number of tardy and absences in order to exempt their final exams. However, this policy can cause some students to even sacrifice needing a mental break from school in order to receive this academic opportunity later in the semester. So I suggest that high school students in the district should be allowed to have 4 excused mental health days each semester, where they can take a break from school and not feel guilty for taking care of their mental health. These students will send a letter to their attendance clerk letting them know when they will be using one of their excused days. And a calendar tracking system on Infinite Campus will be used on those days as well. This new educational policy will not only improve the attendance system in the district, but will also increase the levels of good mental health among today's high school students. So now you know the factors that cause poor mental health and how implementing a specific, detailed policy can help solve this problem. However, there's just one final question. How do we know if this plan will actually work? Well, don't worry. While doing research for this speech, I was able to find a few school districts across America that have already started implementing this new policy. According to a survey conducted by an organization titled Very Well Mind, 74% of parents think that schools should offer mental health days for students. Of those parents surveyed, 77% of parents who let their child take a break or a mental health day saw a positive impact on the child since they're able to talk about their feelings and spend time relaxing their mind. Just like the data in the survey, many studies have shown a positive correlation in students taking a day off from school and an increase in their mental health levels. In response to the crisis, a few states have begun proposing and signing laws that allow mental health days for students in public schools. As you can see on this map, there are about 12 states that let public school students take mental health days, with most of them being on the West Coast and a few being in the Northeast as well. You can also see that our state of Georgia is not one of them. However, as of 2024, this idea has been in discussion by our state Congress, but no bill has been proposed and no law has been signed yet. In short, it is up to us to not only encourage our school districts in the state, but throughout the entire country to see the importance of mental health for students. This area of health is one that should be taken seriously, as it can have a huge impact on the students' attendance and ability to perform well in the classroom. So coming up with a detailed plan to solve this issue and seeing its practicality in a few states can help show the potential of this plan and its ability to help all students across America. By understanding everyday problems in our society and working together to find a solution, we're able to become a group of change makers, ones that can help improve our individual communities and even great nations. Thank you.